What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna be doing a Paladin Fishboom on Blackforest. We're using generic Civ like Magyars. It has no eco bonuses, but it's also a nice representative of a Paladin Civ that you would use in a real situation on Blackforest in a tournament game. We're gonna be having a pond before fish and freak boars. The pond can usually have from like 2 to 5, and you're very likely to have 3 extra boars on BF these days, so I'm gonna be using those as well. So at the start you send your scout to the flanks, so you're not luring right away, but in case you don't need to send it, start luring immediately and just do 5 on foot to go earlier on wood to have more efficient ships and just overall better build. I'd say we're gonna wait a little bit with the luring. Try to shift click the villagers on the trees. They're working on the trees around the lumber camp. And always watch for any villagers that are not working and are just stuck. They don't look idle, but they are. So usually it happens all the time that they just get stuck, and one villager not working right, that can basically kill a boom. And it's happening all the time. So making sure all the villagers are shift clicked, and we'll go with like 8 to 9 on wood. Gonna pick up that boar and go for the dock. I like to get the first dock relatively close to the shorefish, so that the efficiency is good. I think this spot is actually perfect, and these days you also don't need to like plan ahead with the docks way too much, because you're just making the fish around the dog. You don't need that one tile space that you needed before, so that just means you can fit way too many dogs in the pond. And let's say we're back with the scout already, so we can start luring. And the house, and send that woman to the wood line. I'm gonna have 9 on wood. Always try to work only on one animal. So finish the boar, and then we're gonna move to the deer. And we're gonna taking the shorefish that is closest to the dock, because we want that most efficient food income at the start, because it sometimes can get tricky to click up, especially if you don't lure the deer right away. And so 9, and all seem to be working, which is nice. And we're gonna go for the extra boars. Don't forget the mill. Usually only one guy on the berries is fine, and I even sometimes just send it back, because you don't need that much on food. Okay, we're gonna be clicking cuts. Almost lost them. And we're gonna be de-aggroing and we're gonna go. Okay, let's do 25. 25 should be fine here. So last 2 on gold. Trap them in for the biggest efficiency. So I'm gonna do 8 fishing ships, I think. It's fine. Let's take this one. Still have 2 deer. Let's lure them. House so that we don't get housed at all. Usually you wanna also buy food a little bit for a boom, but for the fish boom it's actually not as important. It's just fine to get like that first 100 or 200 food while the prices are still very good. Okay, so we have those 2 buildings. Get the wood upgrade. And everything goes on. So now, see, this woman is not working, but she doesn't show. And once this wood will be out, it's gonna be much more efficient. And we're up. Perfect. Send everyone to wood. Wood upgrade. This guy can go on wood as well. And now this is like the most crucial part. Like this wood line is very saturated, but it's completely fine if you just watch out for the villagers that would potentially not be working. Yeah, why this guy not working? Hello? One more house, and we want to get a couple fish traps working already. Not too many though. We want to be able to afford 2 TCs and all the eco upgrades. Yeah, let's go. So goodbye. But I'll just keep 2 here. And now we need to find a good spot for TC. I'll send here. And we're also gonna go south here. And I usually like to go and build the TCs with like at least 4 villagers, so that you start spending your food right away. You see how many vills I can queue. And we already have a couple fishing ship working here, so and so much food here, and we are also gonna be buying a little bit while the price is still decent, so get those TCs up as soon as possible, and then everyone on wood. Alright. Perfect. And we can already Make another fish chips and another dock. And the most important thing, never get housed. Buy another. And another dock, let's see here. Don't get housed. I'm gonna repeat it all the time. It's like the message to take from this one. Always need houses. Let's not get housed again. Might get housed for a second. And the fifth dock, yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's a fishing ship, that's perfect. Worst thing that can happen to the villagers housed. Okay, and start working on that gold a little bit. So wait too late. I'm not sure why I'm doing gloom exactly. Misclicked it. So get a gold mining upgrade. So, and we also want to have a castle. Very important. Even if you are just a paladin player, you want to click that conscription and make traps for your team. So we will also want to go on gold, so we're on time. Get that wheelbarrow. Honestly, I like to get even the second gold mining upgrade already. It's quite cheap. And slowly start thinking about clicking up. So what we'll need are the buildings. So whenever you find you're floating a little bit wood, just drop them. Especially if you're doing university, it takes quite a long time. So university was built with 2 and monastery. And we're gonna be clicking right away once we finish this. Alright, perfect. And make sure you're not housed, and you want to start working on those calf upgrades. You want to send villagers forward to build stables somewhere. Usually it's in the middle somewhere where you can easily send paladins to both sides wherever it's needed. You're usually the most mobile player on your team. And don't forget making stuff all the time. You want to get to like, I would say even 150 eco. You can pick up that hand cart and already start making units right away, because some you could use some cavalry with +4 right away, and if it's somewhere open. I've got like 54 on foot. I think that's completely fine. And get that castle up. Good, like, we could use maybe a little bit more on gold. Also get coinage. You will sling your flanks. They're usually very delayed doing something, and so we're doing upgrades. Make sure the cavalry is not stuck behind something. Conscription, very important. We've got like 10 stables, that's fine. You can sell a little bit. You can get the wood upgrade. And start working on the numbers. And what you want to do is you also want to trade quite early as the Paladin player. So prepare markets in a good spot. Okay, I'm seeing I'm kind of approaching the timing for the Paladin. Unqueue your Cavaliers and start making again one secret Paladin. You know, again, sell a little bit. Finishing banking soon, I'll be able to slink. And the goal is to be popped around like between 30 and 31 minutes. With the Paladin time approaching around, start making some trade. Okay, we send some blah blah blah, like some, usually send extra food, extra wood, so they can click up or whatever. You are also selling, so remember to sell. And we're gonna be popped around, I would say, 31 minutes with the Paladin time, slightly after 31 minutes. And this is what you do as a Paladin player. And usually you want to keep your numbers around 50, I would say. Yeah, so 31 minutes, 20 seconds, we've got Paladins. And what's important is, so you want to actually trade at some point. So whenever you see that you are popped for a long time, but you're not actually fighting, it's time to delete some villagers. Usually I would start with some woodline villagers, and you really want to make sure that you start trading. Like, you need to add that trade because the gold will run out at some point. And what's also important is slink, 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 be wherever your team needs you, and you can play on the army view and watch how many cavalry you have. You really want to average around 50 plus paladins. Like, there's so many cases where people have way too many eco and they have like 30-40 paladins, and that's just not good. Also, massing your army. Like, don't trickle the Paladins. You always want to fight with your mass. So, like, ideally, the gather point is not exactly at the spot where you're fighting, but slightly in the back, so you can always like fight with decent numbers. And that's basically it. You also, I forgot to make those, but you want to be able to contribute. Like, you don't need to make them all the time. It's not necessary all the time. But like, if you have that one castle making those traps for your team, it's so much better than just spamming paladins, because lacking siege is one of the biggest issues. But that's gonna be it from me today, and then hopefully you enjoyed this build and learned something new. I can also recommend watching Ganji's build, and he's a much better boomer than me, but this should be fine to showcase the idea behind the boom, the principles, and also Ganji's guide kinda sucks because he's not talking at all, so yeah. Hopefully you like mine better, and see you later, guys.